as needed, finding ways to assert their masculinity in the face of the threat. While there is a societally transmitted set of behaviors and attitudes commonly associated with masculinity, what R.W. Connell has termed hegemonic masculinity, the components of individual men's gender identities do vary widely, as do their responses to failures to live up to their own standards of masculinity. When failing to fulfill the ideals of hegemonic masculinity, many men resort to what sociologists refer to as compensatory manhood acts. These compensatory acts, as we'll illustrate, can take many forms, but they all serve the same end: the bolstering of an endangered gender identity. In addition to sociologists, psychologists, most notably the early Freudian Alfred Adler, have thought of this endangered identity as a deep existential threat to men. While we're not Freudians, there is ample evidence that men engage in all sorts of otherwise inexplicable behaviors in order to compensate for threats to their gender identity. This book shines a light on the sorts of things that men perceive as threats or potential threats to their masculine gender identities, and then shows how men adjust their behaviors and attitudes to compensate for those threats. Understanding this perceived threat has become more urgent in recent years, as gender issues have become a larger part of our social and political discourse. In recent years, Americans have seen misogyny-fueled mass shootings, a U.S. president who seems unconcerned with the use of what he calls locker room talk, public hand-wringing over the transition from male-dominated manufacturing and extractive industries to a service economy, the revelation of rampant sexual harassment in workplaces and among high-powered figures in the media, and so much more. Why is all of this happening now? A lot of what people are experiencing is fallout from the Great Recession of 2008 and 2009. The Great Recession. The U.S. economy has experienced many recessions previously, but the recession that started in 2008 with a mortgage bust was unique in its disproportionate impact on men. This impact led Mark Perry, a professor of economics at the University of Michigan, Flint, to refer to it as a man-cession in his testimony before Congress in 2010, a description that has filtered down to the public understanding of the crisis. The 2008 and 2009 recession officially lasted nearly 2 years, from December 2007 through June 2009, and at least in its initial stages affected mostly men. According to the Brookings Institution's Hamilton Project, 70% of the jobs lost during the recession were held by men. This more than doubled men's unemployment rates, which rapidly went from 4% to about 11%. According to 2014 figures from the American Policy Institute, more than 6 million men lost their jobs, compared to just 2.7 million women, between the end of 2007 and the end of 2009. Economists Hilary Hoynes, Douglas Miller, and Jessamine Schaller, using population surveys and national time series data, found that the effects of the Great Recession not only impacted men more than women, but also lasted longer for men. Their analysis blames this difference on occupational segregation. Men are more likely to be employed in the more cyclical industries, such as construction, manufacturing, and financial services, the industries hardest hit by the recession. Women tend to be more concentrated in service industries and the public sector, areas of the economy that weren't hit nearly as hard, at least initially. In addition to experiencing higher levels of unemployment, men found that their unemployment during the recession lasted longer than that of women. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, men between 20 and 44 years of age who lost their jobs during the recession stayed jobless for an average of 26 to 33 weeks, much longer than the average unemployed woman at that time. Even that figure of 6 to 8 months of unemployment, on average, understates the length of time it took men to get back to work, as official unemployment measures cut off either when someone gets a job or gets so